One morning, Peppa Pig's house was especially bright and cozy. The sun shone through the windows, reflecting in the bowls of cereal that the family ate at breakfast. Peppa was swinging her legs under the table, George was gnawing on a spoon, and Mama Pig was pouring tea. But then Daddy Pig stood up, clapped his hands loudly, and announced, "Good morning, family. Today I found an old umbrella in the closet. He looks ... magical." Peppa immediately perked up. A magic umbrella. Is it like my magic wand? I want to see it. Mama Pig just smiled and asked softly, "Dad, are you sure it's magical? Maybe it's just an old umbrella?" And George, as always, jumped up in his chair and shouted joyfully, "Dinosaur, grr." Peppa laughed, looking at her brother, who was waving a spoon like it was a dinosaur. "George, the umbrella is not a dinosaur? Dad, let's see if it's magical or not." And so the whole family dropped the cereal and hurried to the closet in the living room. Daddy Pig opened the door, and an old ball, a pair of socks, and finally a bright umbrella with colorful spots rolled out. It was shabby, but still beautiful, and Peppa immediately decided that it was definitely magical. A little later, they were all standing in the courtyard. The sky was clear, but a light breeze was playing with Peppa's tail, and Peppa Pig was proudly holding an umbrella in his hands. "There he is. Look how unusual it is. I think if you open it, something magical will happen," he said, puffing out his chest. "Open it quickly, Dad. I want to see the magic." Peppa chattered impatiently. "Guh, magic." George supported her, jumping up and down. Daddy Pig made an important appearance, raised the umbrella higher, and opened it with a loud click. And suddenly, colorful soap bubbles flew out from under the umbrella. They sparkled in the sun, shimmered with all the colors of the rainbow, and slowly rose into the air. Peppa gasped, "Wow, bubbles! It's really a magic umbrella. Wow. Daddy Pig, where did you find him?" Pig's mom was surprised, looking at the floating bubbles. "Haha, I told you he was special." Papa Pig laughed, pleased with himself. Peppa and George immediately started running around the yard, jumping and catching bubbles. One big bubble landed right on George's nose, and he sneezed so loudly that Peppa giggled. "I caught the biggest one," she shouted, clapping her hands. "Grr, mine is bigger," George retorted, waving his arms. But suddenly, the umbrella in Papa Pig's hands trembled and then closed on its own with a loud bang. Everyone froze, and a small dinosaur toy flew out from under him and landed right in front of George. "The dinosaur, my dinosaur," George shouted and rushed to hug his old toy. Peppa looked at her brother in surprise. "Wait, George, is that your old dinosaur? Was he wearing an umbrella the whole time?" Mama Pig laughed. "It seems that this is not a magic umbrella, but just an umbrella with surprises." Daddy Pig was a little embarrassed and scratched his head. "Well, It was fun, anyway, wasn't it?" Everyone laughed, looking at Happy George, who was hugging the dinosaur tightly to himself. But Peppa wasn't going to give up. She grabbed an umbrella and said, "I want more magic." She resolutely opened the umbrella again, and this time a small paper airplane flew out of it. He spun in the air and landed gently right on Papa Pig's head. "Oh, is that my old airplane? I made it 100 years ago," Papa Pig exclaimed, rubbing his forehead. "It looks like this umbrella is a real surprise box," Mama Pig said, smiling. And then the real fun started. Peppa was holding an umbrella, George was running with a dinosaur, and Daddy Pig was launching his paper airplane into the sky. Pig-ass Mom came out of the house with a tray with cups of tea and cookies on it. But then the sky became overcast and a light rain began to fall. "I like this umbrella, even if it's not magical. It's the best," said Peppa, looking at the drops dripping from the multicolored spots. "Grr," George agreed, jumping next to him. "I still think it's a little magical," Papa Pig added stubbornly. "Let's go have tea." "Magical pigs," Mama Pig called, opening her umbrella over everyone. The family hid under it from the rain and laughed. Peppa and George immediately ran out from under the umbrella and started jumping through puddles, leaving splashes behind them. The rain was getting heavier, but everyone was having fun. George and I love umbrellas and bubbles and dinosaurs. "Everyone loves surprises," Peppa shouted, laughing. That's how another fun day at Peppa Pig's house ended, and the umbrella remained standing in the corner, as if winking, as if it knew a couple more secrets that it had not yet revealed.